Welcome everyone to the February Whangamatā Community Board meeting. I'm filling in again for Dave, who's unfortunately ill again, and we wish him all the best. Welcome to the public. We have Anne speaking. You guys looking to speak or just here as public? Speak public. I'd like to speak, please. Okay. So, Anne, if you'd like to come up and have your 3 minutes, please.
Come on.
Come and sit. Oh, sorry. 1 minute. Sorry, I was going to do that. Sorry, got to go for apologies first. So we've got an apology from Gary, and an apology from Dave as well. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, hi. I'm Anne Harris.
I'll make the apologies.
Oh, sorry.
So Terry moves the apology in a second. I can second that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. I should have known better, shouldn't I? Having just got rid of my last committee, resigned from everything. I'm Anne Harris from Petawai Drive. I have lived there permanently for 13 years, but bought the property in 2000. And I am kind of getting worried about how our estuary beach accesses for our recreational activities are being eroded away, not only by the weather, but also by people, mankind stuff. So I'm talking about steps today. There's always been one set of steps going down to the beach, which has been maintained by TCDC near the park entrance at the end of Kotuku Street, where the boat ramp is. About 2010 or 11, when I first moved there, Barry Walmsley, a local builder, recently deceased, erected a second set of steps closer to his home so he and his wife could get down to the beach more easily. This is used or was used by a huge number of visitors, but suddenly, about 3 years ago, these steps were removed, I presume, by the TCDC. If you look at picture 2, you all got the pictures?
No.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
You can pass them around.
Okay. So if you can do that. Okay. No. I'll pass them. Is that all right?
Yep.
So if you look at picture 2, you will see there's a 100 by 100 that's been left behind. This leaves a very dangerous descent, which many people use regardless of injury to themselves or their children. One person slipped down and crashed down and almost concussed himself. It was really scary to watch. But it is a great place because it's under the Pahutakawa trees and they picnic there and they sit around and chat and watch their children. Now, if you look at picture 1, this is the area immediately adjacent to number 2, which has been used subsequently for people to jump, slide or scramble down. And this has caused, as you see, a large area of erosion. The route in the foreground there is from the Pahutakawa that is growing right there, which has now been exposed. As you can see, there's kayaks there. In picture 3, you can also see the kayaks. And this is the most recent access caused by users to get down to the beach and put in their kayaks, their SUPs and other flotation devices. As you see, damage to the estuary bank will only be exacerbated over the summer and into the future. There are 4 other paths being used or being formed between this one at the end of Access 22 and the TCDC maintains steps closer to the car park. A further large area of erosion has occurred about 50 metres further down towards the entrance, which is huge. It's about 2 metres high, and it's because people have been pulling their kayaks down there as well, and then kids are jumping on the edge of the bank and it's all eroding away. It's really, really terrible. Colin Parker from 121 has offered to pay for one set of steps, for the materials for one set of steps, so that there is more access to the beach and people don't just keep making new paths down, which is going to cause more erosion. However, we, the local people who actually live on Patawai Drive, believe we need 2 sets of steps, and that's our best defence to stop man-made erosion occurring and allow more of us to enter the water safely. The first, at number 3, there, that one there will be really good.
What access number is that? Nowhere near to.
22.
22, yeah. So once set there, and perhaps a second set of steps about 30 metres further down, where a lot more people are coming in from that end. Our estuary is greatly valued by the locals, as well as the hundreds of visitors who use it any time from, the end of November right through until the end of March. So please seriously consider our request for 2 new sets of steps. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions?
Council last year, I think, put in a new set of steps. What access number is that?
That's where the, about 50 metres from the car park, where the boat ramp is.
Okay.
And of course, that's wonderful for people using that, but it's the only safe place for the rest of us elderly people who are not quite so able to get down. The trouble is that all visitors picnic around it, and the kids and the dogs are up and down, and it's actually quite dangerous. And not me, but some of us won't swim when there are lots of visitors there, which is a shame because, it's high tide and it's lovely. But of course, people use those steps and to get up and down and the other sliding places at any time of the tide because they're walking their dogs, there's just always lots and lots of people down there. But those new steps that DC put in are very good. They are very good. I think they were only put in last year, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, about that, yeah, they are very good.
Okay, any other questions? So thank you for that. I think, may I suggest on one of your pictures there where you had the exposed bit of concrete or the wood there, it might pay to do a request for service to the council, which would help with that. If it's an health and safety issue to walk down there, if it was on the existing path. And talking to the staff earlier before you came in, they confirmed that the staff are looking into it and working.
That's good.
Working on something at the moment. Obviously, there's been a lot of erosion in the down there, so they want to get it right, not just put them in the wrong place.
But yes, there's a lot of work to do down there, and I think we kind of forgotten that end of town. Yes.
So no, they're definitely looking into it.
They are getting into it.
Yep, so the staff for Parks and Reserves are looking into the stairs and that down there.
Already. Okay. You don't want to keep the photos?
Sure, yes, please.
You do?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Graham.
Well, good morning, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Pleasure to be here today. So this time last week, we were in the council chambers in Thames. So representatives of the Marae Committee, the Resource Recovery Trust, the Eastern Coromandel Community Service Trust, the Arts Collective, Men's Shed, and the Theatre Society. So we all gathered to support the quest to build a community marae and a wellbeing hub on 101 Lindsay Road. So we all held our breath as questions were raised and accurately answered, then raised and accurately answered. Finally, the councillors resolved to support the 101 Lindsay Road Working Group's proposal to establish a community marae and wellbeing hub over part of the land at 101 Lindsay Road. So thank you to the Community Board for endorsing the business plan prepared by Veros. It was a real pleasure to work with these professionals. Thank you also to those in the working group. We all worked cohesively together. The staff at Veros commented that they were impressed with the way that everyone collaborated. Huge thanks to Michelle Crook, who helped direct, support, advise, and lead the working group. Her experience was invaluable. Thanks also to our two local councillors, Terry Walker and Gary Gottlieb. I thought you both spoke so well last Tuesday, and you really did wave the Whangamatā flag high. Well done, guys. So still lots to do, but there is a real sense of relief to get this part of the journey over. Whangamatā should be proud. Last but not least, the young warrior who performed the haka at the end was heart-rendering, to say the least. An outstanding conclusion to our favourable result. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you to Anne and Graham for speaking. So we move that. Someone move the speakers as well. Sorry, yeah.
We do that public. Yep. I move it.
Yeah, second.
All in favour?
All in favour?
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Right, and then we're on to items not on the agenda. Does anyone have any items to add?
Yeah, thinking about Lindsay Road, there's obviously a great deal of work to go in the next few years to get fundraising, all of that sort of thing. I would like to see the council move to a zoning change. I know they're going to have to zone it as reserve, but as part of that, I would like to see short-term housing or relocatable housing provided, because all along we've had a concern in this community that there is a shortage of housing for workers coming into town. And I know there are other things happening as well, but I think this would be something that could be used pending the the fundraising and the work on the buildings getting done. And it might be that they're only there for a year or 2 years or 3 years, but every bit would help in my submission. So if that's something that could be actioned at maybe a future meeting, or just brought to attention, and perhaps we could have some comment around that.
The staff can follow that request up, we can put that on the action schedule and we can follow that up and come back to the board.
Sounds good to me.
So does that get added into this, or?
Through the chair, we can add it to a future action schedule, but we'll note it during the action schedule item.
So what do I do there? Do I?
We'll just note that we're going
So we're
to.
noting that, so we have someone to move that, is that right?
No, we
Okay.
can just add
Okay,
it.
so we don't need to do one more, carry on with the next.
Yeah.
So conflict of interest? Do we have any conflicts of interest? No. So minutes for confirmation, everyone read the previous minutes?
I'll move there to the record. I second.
Terry, Seconds. All those in favour?
Aye.
Yeah. And so item 2.1, the draft long-term plan update.
Okay, so I just had the report was read, it's just to give the board an update, make changes to the timeframes. Just to make sure that you're aware of all those changes that have come up through the change to the timeline. I'll take the reservation. The board just receives the draft long-term plan update.
Can I raise a couple of questions regarding that? I would find it helpful, because I've had a look at the long-term plan. If we could, I'm a bit of a ignoramus when it comes to computer stuff, so it would be helpful for me to have a spreadsheet that is not this, that can be read. I mean, when I printed it out, I couldn't read it, it was too small. So, all those different projects. So I wonder if that could be done. I mean, that sounds a bit.
Yeah, A3, yeah.
Well, just bigger so I can read it.
Can't read it and like that.
Yeah, that's what I found. Yes. And the second question, and I know what I would expect it could be done, is could I have a different display format so that we have each project designated as to that particular community board's interest? So you have the Thames Community Board projects, you have the Mercury Bay Community Board projects, you have the Whangamatā Community Board projects. And for me, I think that would highlight some interesting perspective on a long-term plan. And I don't think it would be too difficult to just press the button and get that slotted into that way, would it?
So the tabs on the bottom of the spreadsheet, the community facilities ones are all split out. Are you talking about?
I'm talking about the whole thing, so like you would have all the Whangamatā projects in one group, whether it's roading, whether it's library, whether it's whatever, all the Thames ones in one group, or the other district ones in one group. And that way, I know the reason why I asked that is there's a lot of concern in Whangamatā that we're the poor relation, that we contribute a huge amount of rates and we don't get much value for it. And I think that having that displayed in that manner would go some way to either verifying those facts or not.
Yeah. Yeah, through the chair. In our networking this afternoon, we've got a session where we will go through the LTP laid up in the council format, the public sees that everyone's sort of used to. I suggest we sort of go through that because that's easier to get the information from because it is broken down by wards. If that wasn't enough, then yeah, we can look to do some sort of exercise to bring it out and put it in a Whangamatā sort of page. But I just wanted to be clear on, what information you've seen and have been told.
I think just every line on that long-term plan will have an area, except for the ones that like governance, if you like, that covers everybody, but specifics for each area where there are, like for example, if we said we would like to see a bridge built on Hetherington Road to get to the cycleway, well, that should be identified as a Whangamatā thing. And if Tairua, say, wanted a double lane bridge going into Tairua, that should be on a Tairua page, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I think today the LTP, you'll see some of that quite clearly. So then from then we can decide what more you need to read. So it does break it down by actual board.
Well, I just think it does make it easier for people in town if you had a plan that was.
It doesn't show clearly on this.
No. And the other thing is, it is difficult to read and understand without, that's a question on that.
Yeah. Thank you. No other questions for Eileen on that? Can we have a mover to receive the draft long-term plan updates? Mark move it and Neil second. All those in favour?
Aye.
Carried. Okay, number 2.2 from its usual CAPEX work program. Is this someone online?
Yeah. And Glenn, was everything?
Hello, Glenn. They're ready to go.
I am. Good morning, everybody. I'm not sure how many people I haven't met, but just a super quick introduction. I'm seconded in to cover for the vacancy that Bruce has left and fill his shoes. So that's my role, acting GM of operations. So you've got the report there. Most things sitting there are green. The two at the bottom are probably, I'm making an assumption about what's most interesting to you, and you're welcome to raise questions on other things, but just the Whangamatā stormwater improvement, just to give you an update on that. So we had a second workshop at the start of the year, and out of that we've finalised the detailed design and getting ready to go to market for contractors for that. So that project is ticking along nicely. And then the other one, that pedestrian access project, just flagging that with that coming back to the community board in April for options, we're unlikely to have the works completed by the end of this financial year. So that's why that's sitting on orange, is the timeline is running later perhaps than we might have liked, but just raising that for your awareness now.
Right, thank you. Any questions? Terry?
Yeah, Phil, I've got a couple just updating really. First it was around the street furniture. I know that the local men's shed have been doing a lot of this work. Is there a plan for that to be completed? How's that functioning? Okay,
I will definitely need to get back to you on the details of that one, Terry. I mean, the description there, and I'm just reading this, having to interpret the comment on the fly, but reactive renewals tends to be things that, in response to things that break, rather than in a planned structured approach. So I'm assuming the team is sitting on the money or sitting on the budget until an incident happens with street furniture, and then they'll replace that as and when required.
Yeah, sorry, Glenn, sorry for calling you Phil.
Through the chair, Terry.
Yeah.
Rob did send an email through our parks team to say that they have done, there's only 3 of the 54 seats left to do. And I think they're the 3 that are out here. So they've done the rest, and they have done the ones in Hunt Row. They said that they apologise for taking so long, but with Christmas and all the rest of it, but they have worked through it, and they have sent the Shabama spreadsheet showing all the work that they have done. They've done the majority of them.
That's really good. I just wondered, there's the beachfront along the Esplanade. There's a couple along there, the big wooden ones. Some of them got big holes in them. I just wondered if they were going to look at those as well. Is that part of their plan? There's a couple of big flats.
No, they were just doing the main street ones.
And Hunt Road, you said?
Yeah.
Right.
So I can follow that up with Shabama.
They just need tidying up. The one's got a big hole in the middle of there.
Yeah, the flat ones sit on the road. I think that was the glass ones, eh? That we talked about down there that had the glass in them.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about now is on the Esplanade down down there. There's some big flat ones that they sit on there watching the activities and things.
We put that through as a request for service.
Yeah, if they can do that, they've got a great job they're doing. Thank you, Phil. One more question, please.
Thanks, Glenn.
Can you change your name? No, sorry. Glenn, sorry, Glenn, forgot it on the head there. It's not here, I think it's on the action schedule, but the dump station update, is there a report or are you going to give us a bit of an update on where we stand with that? Glenn.
I'm not in a position to give a detailed report. I've been in discussion with Mo, who is progressing conversations around the funding, yeah, we've got a project plan underway to progress it, but I'll need to get back to you on that one.
Yeah, so my concerns were around, we looked at the site and found it was ideal for it, but then they put a cell tower just to the close to it. So we were just wondering how that was going to interact with what they were trying to achieve there with the dump station. So
okay,
any kind of update on that would be great.
Okay.
Chair, I do know that just that the cell tower was part, so roading alerted the parks team at the time, and so the cell tower is going to have no effect on the dump station location at all.
That's great. Perfect. This is a good site. So I think you're Glenn.
I'd just like to add to this conversation. I mean, ever since we've been on the community board, we've been talking about this dump station, and every time we talk about it, it's oh, we're doing something about it. Nothing ever happens. We've been through our whole summer again, and really we need to have this as a priority. It's something we all support. It's something we found a good site for it. We need to get some action happening. The funding's there. Let's get the action happening.
Yeah, thanks for that. I suppose I can comment on that too. I think it was the November meeting I chaired. We brought up that the cell phone tower had been put in the place of the dump station. Obviously that might be in the right place, but yeah, it would be good to get just a timeline of a date when that's going to start would be good. Yeah, that we can inform the public of that. I think one other thing, sorry, while I'm talking, is the stormwater improvement. Obviously, thank you for that, because it sounds like we're going out for tender. If there's a possibility, can we obviously send the tenders out to local contractors if they're big enough to do it? Would be nice to see them have a crack at it as well. I realise sometimes they're not big enough to do it, but yeah, I think the public would like to see that opportunity. Thank you. Any other questions, Terry?
Yeah, Glenn. So other than curb construction, you'll see that the team's gone out to that plant closing on the 7th of February. Who's got that job? Can you let us know who the successful contractor was?
I don't know. So yeah, through the chair, I can we can report back. So yeah, we'll probably 2 weeks out. We should have completed negotiations. Yeah.
Okay.
If we haven't completed yet, it'll be completed soon. So we'll advise as soon as we can.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, Glenn, do you know which streets are going to get that curb channeling?
The square.
The square, is it? Okay. It's all right, you've answered it. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions for Glenn? So we received the CAPEX work program. Can we have someone to move that, please? Terry, someone second. Neil, all those in favour?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so 2.3, the action schedule. Donna, is Donna online as well?
Right next to you.
Sorry, yeah. There you go.
So I got a question after this.
Yep, Terry.
Yeah, so is this back for you, Glenn? He's gone. Is this for you? Is this for you, Eileen?
I don't know what's your question.
So the island view is what the question is. We've never had the meeting discussing, but can you inform us on what is the final layout for the friend campers and the parking down there? What's the concept?
I will have to look into that. It was something that was incidentally to the actual car park thing, was getting the car park done. My understanding at the time was Freedom Camping has to go through bylaw review. I'm not quite sure.
I thought they'd said that because it was such a close location that encompassed that area, and they couldn't move it around without doing that.
I would have to find out from the team.
But are they going to move them into that new car park, or are they going to move them up top into that sealed park where it's flat?
We would have to have that discussions with the compliance team.
Why does it need to be moved, Terry?
It was only designed because currently the angle of the current car park, public one, is an angled, and they find it difficult to level their machine. So they built a flat one, well, they're going to put the flat one up above it and put them up there. But as we know that they've made that an angled one as well. So behind there, there's a little flat area that makes sense to put them on because it's flat and it's sealed, but we haven't had that discussion. It's always just been waiting to see what's happened with the site. And you'll see it now, it's like a dust bowl down there. Not much grass left on the site itself, so.
The new car park.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take all that back to the team and we'll leave it on the action schedule. And I'll come back with some answers for you.
It was very well used over summer.
It's a car park, yeah. So a good car park. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know if there's been any public feedback on it, or do you think it's has to be
I
reviewed?
haven't seen any public feedback.
No, so I think it's working down there, but it's just, I think you're right, Terry, working out what is meant to go where so that the public and the neighbours are aware of what, maybe some signage saying exactly who's meant to be where.
Need to have that discussion.
Getting them in a bottom car park up to the top one,
Yeah,
And
not into the middle one.
not in the middle one, keep it as a car park.
and in conjunction with bylaws, so we all know what
Bins
the answers are to. Thank you. Anything else on this? Any other questions?
I do, just around the Beverly Terrace one, and signs are in, that's really good. I just think at some point we should have a discussion about whether it's going to be reinstated again next year, and any feedback from council or whoever, just a review on what happened.
So how'd it go, Mark? Give us
I think it's good. Yeah, I got good feedback about it. I think it was positive. They said it should be putting it on more streets around Whangamatā during the summer period when people are just walking on the roads.
Especially those with that footpath.
Yeah.
It's a great.
So I mean, I only got one negative feedback, but it was a little bit of jest. He understood why it was there, but I think that'd be good to have some feedback from council. And
The signs got ripped out that day one, but they put back in and it was dealt with though.
yeah, someone was having a bit of a happy time ripping out signs, but it wasn't just those ones. There were stop signs and headway signs, and there are actually still some stop signs down Beverly Terrace, which are fine on the verge, which probably need to put back in the right place.
Ed Barley's come back and said he's found that it was a good response.
Yeah.
And he's had no negative things. So I think it was a good, cheap, best option that really worked. So well done.
Yeah, awesome. So I think we can.
Well, I would just only like to see if it can be done again next year.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
I think it was a good thing.
Yep, so I think we can actually tick it off saying from the community board, we actually checked that, which is, that's a good thing. Yeah, we worked with the staff and got it to happen, so, and there's been good public feedback. I was saying the only feedback I heard was the signs got ripped out.
Yeah.
That's nothing abnormal for any New Year's down there, so. Awesome. Anything else on, any other questions? No, Abby?
Yeah.
Can we have a mover to receive? Action. Yep. Right, and second, Neil, all those in favour? No. Right, motion carried. And we're up to 2.4, Dave's chairman report. Take that as read, I think everyone's read that.
Yeah, I think it's some good commentary and he makes some good points. And really feel sorry for his current health issues, but he's onto some really good discussion there. And you'll see that the ratepayers meeting at the Baptist Church. And I think Lean's going to be speaking at that this week. It's on the 24th, which is this
Saturday. Yeah, this week.
Saturday.
Yeah. And I know Dave was hoping to attend. I am as well. I'll talk with him with that as well. So I think a few of us are going. So
I actually can't. I've got another opponent, but
there's a few of us going.
Yeah,
so we'll make sure
that's
we're
great.
there. Yeah, and obviously, same thing. All the best to Dave, and we are. I am working closely with them and filling in from where I'm needed, so I'm sure we'll be fine. Can we have someone move the chairman's report, please?
Yeah, haven't moved.
I'll speak to it. All those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to the public for speaking. Meeting closed at 10:35.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Very short.